wonderful sweet babies. So I am back in my filming area and I have a video planned for you guys. This video is pretty much me explaining as to why I decided to quit my job again. I originally put out a video of me, well, I didn't even get a chance to put it out, honestly, but I had filmed a video last year explaining why I decided to quit my job, and I had filmed it, but right around the time that I had filmed it and decided that I was going to drop it, that is when I got another job and I decided to accept the job and start doing the 9-to-5 thing again. And I'll explain to you guys a little bit of that backstory from there, and then we'll fast forward to present and just kind of go up to speed on everything. So before we get into that, please be sure to subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys are, reminded of when I upload, okay? But anyway, you guys forgive me too for my voice. I am coming off of a little allergy or whatever, and it did steal my voice a little bit. It really had, once again, to do with working the 9-to-5, because you know how people are. They don't want to lose out on their money, so they still go to work even though they're sick. And they pass their germs on to others, and then others passing their germs on to you. And it's like when you have your own space that you're consuming rather than consuming the space of others who are grown but don't know how to put their hands over their mouths like adults, then, people end up getting sick. But that is not what this video is about. This video is primarily about me quitting my job. So by the time you guys see this, the not notice really, is already going to be set in stone and everything's already going to be done. So let's just start from last year. So last year I was working a job in which I found it to be incredibly detrimental to my mental. And it was getting to a point where I would wake up in the mornings, I would feel like I was, in a sense, beating myself up. I would feel like this can't be life. This can't be real. Why am I doing this? I could be doing so many other things. I would come up with so many scenarios of other things that I could have been doing. And it just didn't align with me working this job that I was working. I honestly can tell you guys what the job is. I don't plan on returning to the job. It was pretty much a check cashing place. Wasn't the best, but it was closer to home, and it was something that was better than the environment that I was going, because previously to that, I was traveling a good 45 minutes to an hour to get to work every 5 days a week, and that was a lot. So I switched to this other job that I was doing, which was a check cashing job, and working there was even more taxing on my mental health than it was working at that job. Let me just put this out here. I know that there are some people that are, die-hard lovers of the 9-to-5, whole spill, and they're like, oh, well, if you get up and get a job and blah, 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 blah. That's not for everybody. Some people don't have it in them to actually get up and go work for someplace and be told when to take a 15-minute break, be told when they can go pick up their kids, be told when they can go use the bathroom, have to ask if they can go use the bathroom, have to be told to get off of their phones, have to be told to, go eat lunch. Like, sometimes you have to take a lunch break when you're not even hungry. Sometimes you have to sit there and starve before you can go eat. Sometimes you need a break after 5 minutes of clocking in. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, instead of you being able to have that freedom to do so, you have to be told when to do it as if you're a child. And my whole thing is, I've stopped being a child like over a decade ago. So I'm just like, I can't be told like, hey, Victoria, go take your lunch at this time. I don't like that. Hey, Victoria, we're going to have this done by this certain time. There are things in my own personal life that I don't like to do in a certain timely manner. Now, I know to pay my bills and stuff on time. That's just second nature to me, and that's not taxing on me. I know to go get the money to go get it paid, you know. But to have to tell me, like, oh, you need this done. Oh, you have to go do. Oh, yada yada, eat the deep, yappa dop. I don't want to be done and told all that. Like, I'm grown. I know when I should go eat. I know, like, my body will tell me, man, I'm hungry. Then I know to go get up and go make myself some food. My body will tell me, oh, I need a break. My body will also tell me, oh, I need to go use the restroom. I don't want to feel like I have to tell somebody in order to go do something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the way that things were at the place that I was working at the last time, which was to current, was just all over the place, because this latest job that I'm quitting from, it was a nonprofit, and things were just slowly falling apart in front of our very eyes. We were being told practically every 3 months that we could possibly lose our jobs, and that was incredibly taxing on my mental health even more. So it was like, on top of me having the slave-like 9 to 5 that was going on, I'm also being told every 3 months almost, we could lose our jobs because we don't have funding and we won't know how to pay you guys. So unfortunately, you guys may have to get fired. And it just seemed like a lot of secrecy that was going on as well. And it was just incredibly detrimental to my health. It got to a point where after hearing that the second time, I was just like, because I know that this place is not stable and this is the second time that I'm being told this, I feel like walking. Because am I really going to wait for Judgment Day, or am I going to try to make a way before Judgment Day even comes? And I just decided that I'm not going to sit around and wait and be a fool. So I decided that instead of waiting, I can start working on things and getting things done. Another reason as to why I decided to quit is because we weren't doing anything. You guys, on the last day that I decided to check out, we were playing a game in the office because we didn't have anything else to do. So instead of actually doing work, we're playing a game. So I could have been editing a YouTube video, filming a YouTube video, doing some work, doing something detrimental to me elevating to another level, but instead we're playing a game as a group, as a coworker group. And it's like, my whole thing is, when I go to work and when I'm working, I'm not working to make friends, really. I'm not working to just be like, hee hee ha ha ha. No, this isn't my spare time. This is my real time that is being wasted. Like, instead of doing all this, I could be looking for jobs. Or just not even looking for jobs. I could be looking for like gig work, or, you know, looking for ways to elevate, looking for ways to get my name out there, looking for ways to grow. Like, I've had this notion of creating this business that I am going to create. As you guys are watching this video, I am now certified in 2 subjects. So I will explain the business that I am creating in full in a whole separate video. But I decided that I did want to become a entrepreneur and create my own private practice in something. And it pretty much was the same base as what my job was that I was doing. It's just I wasn't the one teaching. I was doing intake at that job. And I had no issues with doing intake. I loved doing intake. I loved answering the phones and getting to know people based off of, you know, just answering calls. We dealt with people that were, you know, felons, parolees. We dealt with people on probation that were arrested, people that have had open DCFS cases. We've worked with a lot of different people of those different types of notions. So much so that, you know, we could get HIPAA violated if we released any too much like sensitive information of these people. So, I do have to be very choice with my words, but that's the overall gist of what we did. I loved what we did so much that I was like, you know what? I honestly want to get into doing this myself. And when I talked to a bunch of different people that were helping me with this, they helped me discover that this could be done freelanced. You don't have to work under a company to do this. You can open your own company. And the more that I started to learn, the more that I was like, oh, wow, I could really do well doing this. So I decided that for me, and for the sake of actually growing that business, because this one is failing, working at this 9-to-5, I'm going to take all of the information that I've learned here and run it over to some place where I can perfect it and make it better. Which I feel like that's what you're supposed to do when you're working a 9-to-5 anyway. But a lot of people love to get into that mentality of, I'm here, I'm comfortable, I'm here to stay. And baby, that's not me. I love moving around. And that was another thing too. It was affecting my health in a way where I was not physically moving. I was sitting at a desk for 8 hours. I was just constantly feeling like I was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And one thing that kind of scared me, honestly, was that my coworker, that was also my program manager, was explaining that, when she first started the job, how she looked, and then how she fast forward to what she was looking like present. And it scared me because I'm like, well, I'm looking back at old pictures of myself and I'm looking at how I was looking before and how much weight I've gained sitting on this job. And I'm like, there's no way that I want to get to that point where I'm that big. I don't ever want to get to that point because that is scary. That is not only scary to look at, but that is also scary for your health, like your heart. Like, it's scary for your heart, your knees, your back. It's very bad off. Like, it's your feet. I'm not trying to have that. So I have to make sure that I'm even keeping that up. Like, you could barely even keep funk up off of you when you're too big. So just for me, that is not the look. For some people, they may love that, and that is perfectly okay if that is what you want. But for me, that is not going to work. Just for what I'm comfortable with. It started to really affect my health. Like, for the past month or so, maybe like a month and a half, maybe 2 months now, I had to get myself a therapist because of how much anxiety it was causing me to be working at a 9-to-5. Particularly this one kind of, but just a 9-to-5 in general. Like I said, hearing the fact that we were going to lose our jobs the first time, so that security was going to be gone, it was just kind of like, wow, okay, I have to go into beast mode now. And I had already told myself, if things fail with this job, I still have my delivery apps and I can always go and log back onto them. And this was around the time of me first thinking about creating my business. My business was nowhere near where it is now. And I was thinking of how much work I had to put in just to get my business to where it is. And that was extremely scary, hearing that we were going to lose our jobs at a point where I was not ready at all. Which, if we did, that probably would have made me more bloodthirsty and made me wanting to get things started as soon as possible, and made me actually grind even harder and get everything done. Fast forward to today, that's exactly what happened. I decided, this is no longer going to work for me. Now I'm like, I have to go into grind mode no matter what. And this time around, I have to make sure that I don't ever have to check back into a 9-to-5. So this time around, I have to make sure that everything that I do, I do it strategically. Like this time around, I know what my purpose is. Last time, I didn't know that I wanted to focus solely on my YouTube until after I had gotten a job. And it was like right when I figured that, okay, I'm gonna start working on YouTube full time. I'm gonna start being a content creator. I'm gonna start posting reels, all these types of things. Those things did not happen for me until after I was employed. I could have been doing this the entire time that I had been unemployed, but I didn't think to do them because it was new. I did it spur of the moment simply because I was like, I can't keep having my mental health be like this. I just quit on the spot. I had no backup plan. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was kind of scared, but at the same time, I wasn't scared because after quitting and not going in, knowing that I was scheduled, I instantly felt relieved. That made me feel 1,000 times better. It even was so much to the point to where one of my coworkers that I worked at the check cashing place with, she was like, you know, I wish that I could do the exact same thing, but she just felt like she couldn't because she had, I believe, 3 kids and they were really, really young. They were like under the ages of 10, and I believe all of them are under the ages of 10. If not, I think one of her kids was like 11, and the other ones were just like really little, like 7 and 3. So it was really scary for her to even think about. I was just like, girl, you got to do what's best for you. Things will work itself out. And it definitely worked itself out for me. I didn't even expect to get this job. And I will even explain to you guys how God worked when that all came down to it. Because I'm telling you guys, I had the notion of I don't ever want to clock into a job ever again. I don't ever want a boss. I don't ever want any of that shit no more. I had that notion. So I will, in a whole separate video, once I get closer to my business just being completely open and I have clients and stuff, I will explain to you guys how everything came into fruition. And I'm also going to share with you guys like my vision board again, and we're going to revisit that too. You fast forward to today, and today I have more of a game plan. I knew I was going to solely focus on doing my YouTube. Last year I tried to focus on doing lashes, YouTube, Instagram, trying my hardest with everything, dabbled in everything. I figured out lashes was not for me, and I solely stuck to my YouTube. And that's what I'm doing this year. Not gonna try any other little practices and try to get anything other little practices done. Sticking to the fact that the only thing I'm doing is my YouTube, my Facebook Reels, perfecting those things, figuring out ways of creating content for Amazon so I can get paid through Amazon, paid through Walmart affiliates. That's all I'm focused on this time around. Really perfecting the influence type spiel. That's what I'm really focused on this year. This year with the, delivery driving and stuff, I'm solely using that as an income. Last year when I did it, it was extremely hot outside, so it was very hard to get everything done. This year, it's still very hot, but I'm doing it when it's more so towards the cooler months, which is a lot more helpful because now I don't have to feel extremely exhausted while doing the delivery driving. This time around, I know that I can, do it while it's a little bit cooler and, roll the windows down and be able to still do it and feel cool. I'm still gonna be sweating and still gonna be tired by the end of the day because all of the constant movement. But once I get my body back, kind of slimmer, and once I'm, building up my stamina and stuff, I should be running them orders in and out with no problem. Still gonna be sweating, but that's gonna be a good thing because we have to work it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to slim it on down a little bit. As far as my business goes, I know about this business. I know how to get everything started. I've built connections with people. I know the places to go to get everything started. So this time around with creating a business, I'm not going in blindsided. With doing lashes, I didn't know who I was going to catch as a client. I didn't really know many females that I could do it on, and I didn't really have much of a clientele, didn't know where to look, didn't know how to approach people about it. But this time around with this business that I have, I know who my audience is, I know how to get the audience, and I pretty much can just get it the same way that we were getting it at my job, because I was the one answering the phones. I figured out a lot of different connections of places, and I'm able to now take that into this business. Pretty much to sum up this video, you guys, I'm pretty much letting you guys know this. I am doing this again for a second time, and it is not for attention. It isn't for, to influence you guys to do the same thing. The only way that I will influence you to do the same thing is if you are pretty much saying the same things that I was saying, which was, I don't feel like getting up to go to work today. I feel like this place is wasting my time. Every time I go here, I feel like my mental health is being affected. If you are saying any of those three things, if not all of those three things, then you should probably leave your job, because that to me is explaining me that you are affecting yourself and you will end up in the hospital or probably dead trying to sit here and please the people at this job instead of doing what makes you happy. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing it without a backup plan, but if it gets to a point where you feel like, I don't know what else to do, and if I stay here, I feel like I could possibly be risking it all doing this, I would say leave without a backup plan. Plans come as you go. Sometimes spur of the moment things happen for you, and it happens for you like crazy. And you would be surprised at how if you just take that chance and just get up and say, you know what? I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna affect my health any more than what it has to be affected. And you just get up and go do what you have to do. You would be surprised how much you grow. Because even if you need to do a job that you don't really wanna do right away, like for me, I know that I could get a tutoring gig like nobody's business. For me, I'm already educated. I have a degree. So I have a degree. I have experience teaching kids. That is a job that I can get extremely easily. So for me, I can just do delivery driving and tutoring if need be. Find your niche, find what you know how to do that's kind of a gig work that you can do. Like if you have kids and you're like, I know how to take care of some kids, well, go sign up for a bunch of babysitting agencies, collect all different types of babysitting gigs, do a bunch of babysitting gigs, and then that's your freelance work that you can do on the side so you don't have to clock into a 9-to-5 and you can set your own schedule. If you know how to work really well with people with disabilities, do just that. You can work at places where you are helping and assisting them. If you really know how to work well with elderly people, you can work as like a little nurse or like a person that comes in and helps them clean up their house, helps clean them, helps them with their mobility, helps them with all different other types of things, then you can do that. If you are really good at cooking, you can sell plates. If you are really good at doing like, cleaning, you can freelance those types of works as well. So just find your niche of what you're really good at doing. Use it to your advantage. That way you don't have to clock in for work for a while. And I would highly suggest doing 2 of those types of things. So if you're really good at working with the elderly and working with people with disabilities, I would say do both, because the more things that you have that you can add on together, the better. And then that way you don't have to worry about clocking into that 9-to-5. And that way you can give your mind a break. If you have to go back to a 9-to-5 because, it just wasn't enough money doing the gig work, do that until you could figure out what kind of a plan you have for yourself in the future. But it's better than just sticking with that place if that is not the type of person that you are. For me, I'm not a 9-to-5 type bitch. So it's not going to work for me, ever. I'd rather it just be me working on what I gotta work on, doing what I gotta do, nobody around me. I don't have to worry about people sneezing and snotting around me while they're sick. I don't have to worry about people constantly leaning over to have a conversation with me that I don't really wanna have. So for me, that works for me. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling because this video is about to be 30 minutes and I'm gonna let you guys, figure it out to the best of your ability from here on out. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Please be sure to follow me on all of my social medias. They'll be listed in the description box down below, as well as here on the screen. If you guys would like to, talk more and want follow-up videos as well, please leave your comments in the description box down below. I'd be happy to make a follow-up video explaining to you guys how I am in, maybe a month from now or maybe 2 or 3 months from now, whatever. So just let me know in the comment section what you guys would like. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.